rise. The verse steps out, a dragon's might. Zodiac hums, we fit with pure light.
Crypto storm in a teacup. Feel the surge in your kneecaps. The verse inspires, let markets merge. Family retires.
Numbers pulse, the moon is lit. Cold coins jolt.
And we are back at it again on the #1 altcoin show in all of crypto. We talk about meme coins, we talk about numerology, we talk about astrology, we even talk about top signals. And today we got a special live stream. Our boy Bill is back from base camp. I'm really curious, Bill, were you worshiping any owl gods? And how was the networking? On top of that, we're going to talk about meme coins. We're going to talk about new token launches. This is going to be an awesome live stream. And last but not least, FOMC meeting. We just got our rate cuts. What does this mean for crypto? Is it all going to go to zero and we're fucked? Or is it altcoin season? Bill the Bull, what's up, my brother? How we doing today?
I'm enjoying this like egg bite from Starbucks. But anyways, brother, it was great. It's good to be back. I can't tell you if there was any rituals like in the forest somewhere. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sworn to secrecy, but it was dope, man. Vermont. You ever been to Vermont?
Yeah, man, it's beautiful.
Dude,
yeah.
it's super sick.
Yeah, you guys are countryside, right?
Yeah, we're an hour like somewhere from Burlington, so it was like by the like I guess like a really popular ski resort area. So yeah, oh, there's me. Look at that.
Yeah,
and
man.
Rachel.
There's you with your Air Force Ones and shit, man. You're looking good, man.
Bro, I actually dig that picture. I did not no diddy. I look pretty good in that photo. I'm not gonna lie. But the Air Force One actually on On-Chain Summit San Francisco, everyone in attendance got to receive free Air Force Ones. How dope was that? Customizable.
Dude, that's sick, man. Nah, I mean, I saw the photos and stuff, man. Everything looks good. The other thing I want to point out is you got to see our boy Jesse, man. What was that like?
Yeah. Terrible picker of me. I was like, that was the end. So it was great, man. Obviously, Jesse is Jesse. He's the #1 guy on base, and his energy and enthusiasm was great. As everyone was aware, I had no idea that base was going to announce two things that day. He announced Monday the keynote speech that base is going to have their own token. They're exploring an ecosystem token, which means they're going to have a token, and also that they're going to have a Solana bridge where basically it seems like it's like Wormhole. If you have a base token, you can then bridge it to Solana, and then people can buy that in Sol. So they don't need to, bridge Sol to buy. Like, that's huge, man. I think that's a very underrated thing that people aren't talking about it. That bridge, and even Sol. If you have a Sol asset, you can bridge it to base, and then people can just buy that same asset with base. And so for me, I'm very excited because that means I can explore the possibility for my late night on base creator coin to go into Solana and then just tap into that audience as well. And like if I decide to stream and then have more people buy, capture the interest of late night on base. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So the real question now is, since we got LNob on Solana, are you now late night on Solana?
Never.
I'm just
Never.
kidding.
I'm just saying. No, but I'm saying that is super cool because all the liquidity and volume is on Solana. So if you can capture some people, it's just more awareness of the brand. Because I just think that was super cool that they're gonna implement that, or maybe it's in testnet. I don't know, but yeah, man, Jesse's great. Privately talked to him about a couple things, and he just fired up on obviously base, but he's really fired up on the creator economy. which is
Yeah.
amazing for me because that's all I'm doing. But like Zora is like the is the golden child of this bull run. Anything related to Zora, it's the golden child. Everyone should know that. Zora and probably Aerodrome. Aerodrome's the golden child as well in terms of the dexes, and I think both will be massive winners. With Zora, I think just be patient because there is an unlock coming. I think in October, so you got to wait for those vesting things. So, but I think Aerodrome, but I think Zora is obviously like literally like they're gonna push anything they do. So it's good to see. Met the founder of Zora as well. Got to talk to him. He agreed to come on the stream, which will be great. I'll try to set that up. But yeah, man, super glad to be back. Long trip, but here we are.
Hey man, hats off to you, dude. That it was awesome to see you at base camp and seeing all the news. And in my mind, when I saw the announcement of the bridge, then the base token, man, you're the first person I thought of, no Diddy. And I was just like, dang, dude, that must be awesome being that type of environment. So hats off to you, dude. And my thoughts on the Solana bridge. Solana is the most popular Gen Z blockchain in all of crypto. You got the Zoomer haircut TikTok kids over there launching coins left and right, running around being a bunch of degens, and then you got the older crew on Ethereum, and then you got like the outcasts on Pulse chain. That's how I see the environment.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. The Outcast on Pulse chain. I think the older crew is on base also, so Ethan base.
Yeah. And, growing up, I was kind of like that weird kid that nobody understood because I was always into like science and math, technology. And that's why I'm on Pulse Chain because everyone on Pulse Chain, even though they're a bunch of drama queens and sometimes can be a bunch of bitches, I do think that crowd's a little very, very smart. So I'll give them that props. But long story short, when that bridge gets built, you're going to see a lot of on-chain liquidity coming from Solana straight to base, and I think it's going to be bullish for the entire base ecosystem. And the main reason why I like base so much is because it was one of the first blockchains for layer twos that I absolutely crushed on it. It was founded in the year the cat, and I'm under pig energy. Pigs do well on cat chains, and I also think Jesse is really great when it comes to marketing and brand recognition. So all in all, man, just one last question before we move on. We talked about this base token, whether or not it's a top signal. Any last comments or anything else that you noticed on base that you think the audience should know?
Yeah, well, it's not coming this year. He reiterated it in a AMA yesterday at the event. I don't know if it was broadcast live, so it's not coming this year. He specifically said if you think it's coming by the end of 2025, it's not. So that leads me to believe that when it does release, first of all, it's going to be a massive liquidity event. It's going to be so great. I'm very excited. I think everyone should be excited. I think people need to start transacting. I think like get your on-chain score up. But I do believe because it's not launching this year, this is just my personal opinion, it will be a top signal. I believe you're going to get a massive flow of liquidity. It's going to come to the market. But I don't see an extended bull run. I've told you guys many times. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think 2026 is just blood moon and also the year of the horse. I think the bear market starts, but whenever they do have it released, I think you're going to see so much euphoria in the market. It's going to be exciting, but I also would be cautious. But that's just my thoughts. What about you? What do you think?
I agree. When we were on this live stream, the one thing that we told you guys to look out for is the XRP ETF because that will be the top of the market, and that's where the most hype is going to come. But in my opinion, I think base is more has more of the attention than XRP. So I believe this base token launch is going to signal the top. And then also the second chain that I'm looking at is Abstract. Abstract is waiting to launch their token. And I do firmly believe that they're going to do that during peak euphoria. So when those two events happen, which I think they're going to be very close together, that's going to be the top. It's time to leave. And I don't see us having a continued market through 2026, the year of the horse, which is enemy with crypto under Rat Energy. So I want to make this crystal clear because I'm seeing people saying Bitcoin's going to $1 million, Ethereum's going to $80,000 a coin. I'm seeing so many top signals and it's driving me crazy. Bill, are you seeing the same stuff?
Yeah, and I think like we need that for not everyone can win. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think I am going to be. But I think things go in cycles. There's no way Bitcoin's going to $1 million this cycle. I think you're going to see You know, like I said, institutions can't let everyone win. You know, the cabal can't let everyone win. It doesn't work that way because then they lose control. So they can make money on the way up, they can make money on the way down. So just be cautious. But I will say that after Basecamp, there's no doubt in my mind Base is going to be like the biggest player in this space. I think the smartest people around the world are building the coolest things on Base. Forget about token price. I'm just saying like this industry is going to be a huge winner. Everything as you see it is just going to, like, they're building the new internet. Base is building the new internet, and it was just electric to see. So, like I said, while the token price and stuff, we might hit a bear market, I still think the goal of reaching like the new internet is going to continue to go, and just it just might be in the bear market. But at some point, like you just cannot fade base. It's just the best developers, the best teams, the best infrastructure. Um, so I'm like tripling down on just at least content and what I'm doing. But yeah, the 2026 is not going to be a crypto year.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. And just to add to all the stuff we're talking about, Brian Armstrong did also retweet and comment on the base token. They're talking about accelerating decentralization, expanding creator and developer growth in the ecosystem. And they don't have any definite plans, but they're basically getting into the research right now. So this is something that everybody needs to keep an eye out for. Base is going to be one of the top layer twos, and when we talk about top signals, I would be watching for this one 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the big one. And then the other thing I want to throw out here, a lot of people are asking, why does Base need a token? And that's what I keep seeing on Twitter. And I'm gonna give you guys my opinion, and then I want Bill's opinion. And I got something to back up the stuff I'm saying. But if you look at what happened with Solana and Pump Fund, people went on Pump Fund, speculated on meme coins, and then they got an airdrop and they started speculating that airdrop, and they keep using the platform to earn more money. So basically the product use is backed up by the incentive of a token airdrop. This is the same model Base is going to be implementing in the future. And I firmly believe that with a speculative token on their network, this needs to happen to solidify the entire culture on Base, because Base started off as a meme coin chain and it's transitioning over to a more RWA focus. And also they're getting really close into the creator economy. Now, the other thing I also want to add to Base that I think a lot of people don't know, and then I'll get Bill's take on why Base needs to launch a token. If you guys haven't been paying attention in the bear market, when Optimism first came out, one of their first projects was Base Chain. Base set up an agreement with Optimism saying that Base will receive 118 million OP tokens, and in exchange, Optimism will receive 2.5% of the sequencer revenue. And the sequencer is just basically a massive validator that approves transactions on the chain. And from my understanding, this past quarter, Base earned over $50 million from the sequencer revenue. And out of that $50 million, Optimism gets 2.5% of that. And it basically amounts to about 15% of the overall profits. So when it comes to like Base as a chain, the one entity that's making the most money out of all of this is Optimism. And Optimism has its own token. So people can go in and speculate on that token for the future growth of the Optimism superchain ecosystem. Now with Base, when they bring that token in, it's going to be a way for big money to speculate on the overall growth of Base. So I'm going to flip the question back over to you, Bill. Why does Base need a token in your opinion?
I think Base needs a token because I think they see that the only way to capture the mind share of the people in crypto is to have its own token. They see what Solana, a lot of what they're doing is comparing themselves to Solana. How do they get the culture of Solana onto Base? How do they get like their own unique culture? And they realize that the trenches, they were the first to admit they probably ignored the trenches for a while. They thought it was just silly gamblers, whatever. And it's been said that's what it is. And they've realized quickly over the last year or so that the trenches are incredibly vital for culture building. And in crypto, culture is everything. So having a token does a couple things. Number one, it's able to create this massive generation liquidity event for everybody. Everyone wins money. The venture capitalists, the ecosystem, like Coinbase the Coinbase team would probably make just substantial god money. Venture capitals would make god money, but more importantly, so no, it's a win-win for everyone because it now establishes a culture on Base, and it will bring in degens galore, speculators galore. It will increase the economic activity on chain like no other before. Now you're gonna have people, yeah, they're trying to farm the airdrop. It doesn't matter. But this is the one thing that's going to unify the chain, and having their own token, it signals that they're willing to bet on culture. And that's more important than just like, hey, we're better than people. We don't need a token. So they did it for 2 years, and I think they realized in order for it to get to the next 2 years of like this being the number one chain, you have to give reasons for people to come on chain, and that's giving them money, giving them the ability. And they know that once you give them stimulus, that money's typically will stay in the ecosystem. People will explore. Sure, there'll be some people who just dip, but it's a win-win all throughout. And I just tell you, once the news was coming out that they're going to explore it, the crowd went wild, man. And that was the base camp people. So I could just imagine everyone on the internet's just chatting and talking and just like thrilled. And now they're speculating when it's going to be. So you're going to see base activity ramp up. That's what I think.
Love it, man. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just excited for the ecosystem. I think it'll be great. And the other thing I just want to leave before we move on to the next topic, because we got to get into the FOMC meeting. I think also the main reason why they really push forward with this, because I think in the back of their head, they're like, all right, we need to get this token out soon, but we want to use it as like a headline event to speculate on the ecosystem. But I think the one thing that forces out is the Linnea TGE event. Now, for those guys who don't know, Linnea is like backed by Consensus. Consensus is the founder of like MetaMask, and they basically set up a lot of the wallet infrastructure when Ethereum first launched. And so they launched this token, and based on the tokenomics, you basically have an 85% allocation to the ecosystem, 15% is designated to the Consensus treasury, and the fees that are the fees that are generated from the sequencer, 20% of them burn Ethereum, 80% burns Linnea. And notice they use 80%. And when it comes to like numerology and astrology, it's all there. You guys just got to pay attention. 80, 8 plus 0 equals 8. 8's the number of money. And for some reason, Linnea loves to use numerology for this stuff. So in my opinion, what I think they're doing is they're pushing forward this base plan to compete with Linnea. And now we got the L2 war. So overall, I'm really excited to see it happen. And I had a few people ask me, which one would I choose, Linnea or base? I'll pick base at any time, anywhere. But I'd also keep an eye on the Linnea ecosystem because I know Consensus has a lot of money. But yeah, man, that was the last thing I want to say. Bill, any thoughts on that before we move on?
Yeah, no, I mean, Base, again, hands down, the best teams, the best developers around the world, the smartest minds are building on Base. They're not building on any other chain, straight up. And so, like I said, going to Basecamp makes me realize that, wow, Base is going to bring in the new internet. And we're here for it.
Yep. Good stuff. All right. So before we get into the degening, the trenches, the LNOB token, and I might drop you guys a new Colt meme coin that I'm personally looking at right now. So stay tuned to the end. But please do me a favor. Go over to Bill's Twitter at LaneOnBase, follow him, retweet this live stream out. Also, follow me at TheVerse369 and make sure you retweet this live stream out. Let's try to get 1,000 people in here. That'll be sick. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. So, Bill, breaking news. The FOMC meeting announced that we are getting 25 basis. We're getting a 25 basis point rate cut, and we have an expectation to bring rates as low as 3.5 to 3.75% at the end of this year. Are we in altcoin season, Bill the Bull?
I mean, you know me, man. All this sell the news, buy the rumor, like all this news is not going to dictate whether or not we're in a bear market or a bull market. All the news that they put out is just to give the public a reason to understand what they're doing. The market makers, the elites already have a plan. I 100% believe we're going to have a bull run season, like a massive season. Everything's pointing to that. Is this the catalyst? I don't know. That's why I turned to Chris, because he's the macro guy. What are your thoughts on this? Is 25 lower than expected? What you thought? I'm curious to know what you think.
I think it's too low. I think we need to go low. Well, excuse me. I think we didn't cut enough because if you look at all the other countries across the world, they've been cutting their rates for this past year, and we've been holding back. And I think a lot of it has to do with political, with Trump being president. So, in my opinion, we're going to start off very, very small, and then the rate cuts are going to get much more dramatic. And when that happens, you're going to see the M2 money supply balloon, and we're probably going to see Bitcoin go absolutely crazy. So, this is the beginning phases of probably one of the most legendary altcoin season ever. And my question is, on the next FOMC meeting, how bad that is that cut going to be? Because if they cut 100 basis points, that's going to say like, hey, we fucked up. We need to cut a lot more, and people are going to start panicking. But I think with that type of panicking, you're going to see it on the TradFi side. But on the crypto side, it's just going to be trenches exploding. Zoomers.
If you don't mind, if you don't mind, I'm sure there's people out there who might not know what exactly. If we just break it down for them, what exactly is the significance of a Fed cut? What exactly does that mean? What are they cutting? For those that might not know.
Okay, so what the interest rates determine is if you were to go to the government and take out a loan on a business or a house, there's an interest rate associated with that. And it says that for the amount of money you're borrowing from the federal government, you have to pay back a certain percentage of that over a certain set period of time. So, for example, if you got a mortgage and say it's 20 years, if you were to take one out right now, you would basically have to pay right around 4% every single year on the total amount of money you're borrowing from the government. So typically when you increase interest rates, that's less money being loaned out into the economy, which means there's less money circulating through the economy, which means you're going to get a slower economy and less jobs out there on the market. So what interest rates do is they slow down the job market growth, and they basically stop the economy from accelerating or inflating over time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the idea of changing the interest rates is it basically controls the amount of money being printed out of thin air going back into the economy, so that when we have periods of high inflation, we can slow it down. And then when we slow down those high periods of inflation, typically the economy gets hit really, really hard because there's not much job growth. So then we accelerate it. So it's basically this Ponzi scheme that turns on and off every 4 years. And it's a way to just to keep pushing out further and further. And this has been going on since World War II when, God, who was that? Who was the general? Who's the 5-star general at World War II? I can't believe I forgot his name.
Patton?
No. Patton was the tank general. It was Eisenhower. So this started when Eisenhower was president, and he basically was expanding the money supply to stop a massive recession after the World War II boom following the defeat of Germany. And that's how this all started. And they've just been continuing it out. So sorry, I'm going on a crazy history rant right now. Right. But the main point I'm just trying to get across is if we don't cut interest rates right now, a lot of you guys are going to be out of a job very, very quickly. And it's going to get really bad really quick. So this needs to happen, and it's going to be going on for the rest of our lives. And that's why we have Bitcoin, Ethereum to protect our money savings going on in the future. So yeah, man. And the last thing I just want to bring up before you get into the trenches, with the recent announcement of the FOMC meeting, we had $105 million liquidated in the past 30 minutes. So
that's insane. I don't know why anyone would touch leverage right now. Why? I really don't know. Like, is it that much of a gambling mindset? Like, you don't understand, especially in chop, you're going to get fucked.
Yeah, man, I just don't get it. I don't. Yeah, we were talking about this. We were saying don't trade leverage around the blood moon. Don't trade leverage around the FOMC meeting, but people still do it. So
it's so bad. And I get it. You get in a gambler's mindset, but that's how you're gonna go broke, and then you're gonna miss out on the bull run. Just buy a spot and chill. Hold ETH, buy a couple spot bags, and just chill. That's it.
Yes, sir. I agree 100%. So good stuff. All right. Well, we're done with the macro, all that good stuff. And RIP to everyone who was leverage trading in the past 30 minutes.
Rip.
Build the bull. We got
Yo.
some trench plays going on. I just want to ask you, how's the LNOB token coming along, sir?
Dude, it's good. So listen, what I'm doing is I'm truly a pioneer in the streaming world, and I spoke. So one of the things that Basecamp is, you're able to, break up into smaller sessions and like really talk to some of the big people on the stage. And we've realized in the creator economy, especially on Base is fully championing the creator economy, creators, streamers, whatever. Think Zora. I happen to be a streamer, so I have my creator coin, and we're so early in the sense that like the sky is unlimited of the potential of what we can do. People on Solana obviously had a fun run, but it's a different culture there. We're actually building something that can sustain ourselves. So I love what's going on late on Base. We're so early though, because the only issue that has to be solved, and everyone at Base and Coinbase and Retake, they all know that, is in order for the creator economy to move forward and become like a dominant sector. Because first of all, it has the potential to be a dominant sector because you're now able to improve the lives of creators in Web 2 that wouldn't get paid for their brand, their value, but now you're tapping into the internet capital markets, Web 3, and potentially their brand can explode like never before. You have fans that can, speculate on the success and all that. But the one thing that will hold it back is if there's fragmentation of the creator coin, meaning you can't have like 3 or 4 or 5 different creator coins on different platforms representing. So for instance, if I'm Mr. Beast in 2020 and 2005, and I was a fan and I saw his creator coin on YouTube, most likely you would probably want to speculate it. But if Instagram came out with their own Mr. Beast coin, and TikTok came out with their own Mr. Beast coin, you're going to fragment it. And the same thing's happening with Web3. Fragmentation is an issue. Retake has their own streaming coin for me, but Zora also have a streaming coin for me. So I basically have said you can have multiple platforms of streaming, but there has to be one unified thing. So I've made it a point to understand that my streaming coin on Retake, but it's not just Retake, it's my streaming coin on Clanker, that's the LNOB coin, will always drive the most value. But I have to buy my own Zora supply and figure out different ways because, on that I own like 60% of the coin. But when Zora takes off, I want to maybe capture value there and then accrue it to late on Base. So long story short, we're so fucking early. And so right now, we're chilling 130K market cap. It's truly a micro cap, but I'm so excited because I'm taking it upon myself to want to be a pioneer of the streaming coin meta and figuring out different ways to bring value that other streamers, other creators can use. So I'm fucking stoked, man. And I truly do believe 1 to 10 million in the next few months, or 100K to 10 million next few months is possible, and I'm going to make it happen. That'd be 100x from here.
Love it, man. Hey, great take. And that's going to be an awesome clip. I'm excited to clip that tonight. But
I bet.
Yes, sir. Dude, this live stream is going to be great for clips, man. We have so many good takes. I love it. We've been clip farming all the time.
I know.
So here's my take. Just looking at the chart overall looks extremely bullish. We are respecting this trend line. And in my opinion, if it's sitting at 115K, I got back up my boy, man. And I got to say, if we hit that $10 million target, that's 100x from here. So like I said, I'm bullish on late on Base. I don't even care how the chart looks. I'm backing up the truck. Let's freaking go, my man. And
you should look into the Zora. You should look into the Zora one too, just so you know. I'm gonna figure out a way, and I would try to understand like some of the smartest guys on Base also own a shitload of my supply, and they want them both, and they want to like figure out ways of like just transforming. Like, how do we incorporate the Zora with the Clanker? The one on Zora though, just so you know, is like 83K market cap, and most of the supplies bought by me. There's like, because I rinsed everyone out, went to like 12K market cap, so then recently started buying it. So if you're interested in a Zora coin, literally that one will have a place in this ecosystem that I'm creating, and there's like truly no downside to that coin because like everyone left, and I literally have all the supplies. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah, and just for the Base people, I know if you're on Pulse Chain, you understand like the supply control and the low liquidity pumps, but for Bill's audience on Base, because Bill has the entire supply of that Zora token, basically when people come in behind it and start buying it, you only have a small amount of tokens on the market to buy up, so the price can jump up, and that's how you get a massive price appreciation. And that's what happened to Bitcoin back in 2014, year of the horse. when we had Mount Gox come in and absolutely crash the Bitcoin price. And at that time, Satoshi owned 80% of the supply. A very small amount of tokens were up on the market to buy. And we saw the biggest comeback in crypto history at that time, right after 2014. So when you have one person control the supply, as long as they act benevolently in the coin's interests, then you can get some really great price appreciation. And in all honesty, a lot of meme coin communities like to do something called bundling. So like the bread token, it's bundled and the team controls majority of the supply. And they do that so that the chart doesn't get dumped like to nothing. So I'm going on a rant, but long story short, because he has supply control, that's extremely bullish for the future outlook of LNOB on Zora. So good stuff. Bill, any last thoughts on laying on base before we get into the trench cooks?
No, man, I think right now, last thing I'll say is right now, because we're early, base is trying to figure it out. If you notice, retake got completely dumped to oblivion because of news saying that Zora is going to come out with their own live streaming feature. And, now Flaunch is coming into the arena for live streaming. My token isn't tied to anything, but I still believe in retake that, just like how Instagram have Instagram Live, Zora will have streaming as well, which is why I'm positioning myself with my Zora token because I'll be streaming there too. But they're never going to be a fully only video streaming platform like Twitch. Instagram and Twitch are able to go side by side. So right now there's a lot of chaos, and I think with late night on base, especially because it's with retake and retake's getting obliterated. I know retake has plans to make the best V2 possible. I've seen it, but I'm trying to light a fire in them to be like, yo, hurry the fuck up. Let's go, man. Because as time passes, if they don't get it out, it's not going to look good. So just a lot of volatility. But like I said, I think it's a good time to buy because at least I'm here and I'm really trying to champion this little industry.
Love it, man. Good stuff. Shout out to Goo God in the live stream. Good to see you, my man. Slim, when Trump gives us fresh stimulus, all alt season will really fly. I do agree with you, kind sir. Bill, any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's 2020 all over again. Wasn't 2020 when they gave us a stimulus and literally everything flew?
Yep, 100%.
There you go. Everything flew. People were like, I think they got like $1,300, $1,500, and it went all into crypto.
Right. Goo God, I printed 20% on my BTC short earlier. Well, that doesn't surprise me because like Goo God is the type of guy who would try to jump off a cliff and survive. So I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Nah, man. I'm happy you printed, bro. So, oh God, here we go. All right, I've been getting this question way too much. Yeah, I gotta address this. So when the Verse Creator coin, I'm not gonna say anything. But there is a platform that I have been talking to, and I'll tell you after a live stream. But stay tuned for that because I'm waiting for this to play out. But I'm focusing on the timing. I'm all about timing. I don't like to jump in too fast. If it's the perfect timing, I take advantage of the situation. So yeah, cool, good stuff, man. All right, Bill. Let's talk about.
Real quick, I want to shout out Utah Crypto. He just messaged. Shout out to Bill for helping me out. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, so I got a few invites to the base app. So he hit me up and I was happy to give him. Chris, if you're interested in going on the base app, I don't know if you are. I have an invite for you as well if you want. It's pretty early there too, but I'm super pumped about that because in the next couple months, like base app is opening up to the world, which is another reason why when we get into token talks, betting on coins that are going to be the beneficiary of the base app opening to the world is a big play. And there's a couple of mine that I have for base that I think are just going to just do massive numbers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Actually, I do want to be on the base app and definitely need to talk to you about that because Goo was telling me that he's actually making money and he didn't even post on it. So that's actually exciting. Cool. All right. Good stuff. Now, let's talk about some meme coins. I'll start off, and Bill, if you got any ones that you want to mention or chart, just let me know. We did talk about the LNOB token, so guys, please check that one out because that is always on the top of the list. Now, Bill, with this market coming down, I've been actively researching. For some reason, people like to research coins when they see green candles. But when I see red candles, that's when I research, and then I chill when I see the green candles because I don't like to chase stuff. You know, I don't chase girls at bars, so why should I do that in crypto? See what I'm saying? So I'm excited to add this new token to my list, and I'm all about the Murad thesis about the cult meme coins. I really do think that cult meme coins are going to be the gems of this market, and then you're going to get a few utility coins like the base token, the Zora token that would do well. Now, I added this new one, and I'm really excited to talk about today because these guys are absolutely autistic. They don't know how to sell. All they do is shill, and I love this community, so I gotta get a bag, and I've been waiting. The name of the project is Hold, HOLD. So, have you heard this? Have you heard of this token before?
I think you've mentioned it on stream before.
I have. Okay. All right. Well, I probably have, but I'm actually making an entry into this project. And so basically what I saw on the chart was we had what was that 85% dump? All right, it was about 74% dump. And one thing that I like to look out for, Bill, I mainly look at these crazy wicks when you see whales jump out because typically sniper bots come in, snipe up that supply, hold, and they slowly sell off. Once we started to get a bottom down here and we came back down, I slowly started desaying in, and currently it's sitting at a $12 million market cap. So the real question about this chart right now is if we break down from 3 zeros and a 4-2, we might be in crisis mode. So I'll make that crystal clear. I'm showing this to you guys because we potentially may have found bottom, but if we break down from 3 zeros and a 4-2, I would probably hold off and just let it catch another bottom. So long story short, Bill, I'm adding this to my long-term portfolio play. Shout out to the whole community. I love this community. It's great. And I think overall they work for their bags. Bill, any thoughts on the pick?
No, it looks good. Is this a ETH play?
Yes, sir. ETH.
Nice. Well, listen, one of these type of tickers everyone can relate to. You know, everyone knows the meaning of hold. So I mean, it could definitely go viral. Chart looks fine. I mean, yeah, just bottom out in this area, just kind of see what it is. It does seem like a good time to DCA just from my eye. And one thing I do like, it's been around for a while, so that's always good too. You never know with like new projects.
Absolutely. And I think with this type of project, man, they're getting like an aggregator and they're using the fees from the aggregator to burn the token. And I know like aggregators are very common in this market, but I think the one thing I'm looking for is the intention to build within the community, build a brand, create products and all that stuff. So I think ultimately it's a great pick. And that's why I have Hold as one of my top picks for this upcoming altcoin season. So yeah, guys, check it out. This is one that I'm adding to my list. I got a list about 8 coins that I'm going to be chilling with. I'm not going to be degening hardcore. We might do a little bit here and there, but the short-term play is over. I know you guys like that stuff, but now's the time to, stay committed. This is like the time where you want to be in like a marriage with your coins, even though you guys got to break up in the end. That was probably a terrible analogy. So, yeah, man, good stuff. Bill, you still there, my man? Did we lose Bill?
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good, bro. Don't worry about it. I just double check. I didn't know if you were if you got hit by a meteor or something. I'm just kidding.
I mean, the Matrix is just like, yo, you spilled too much sauce, bro, in Vermont. And your late night on base token is a future banger that's gonna go from 100K to like 10 million. Bro, honestly, there's like so much shit I want to talk to you about. Like there's so many cool things I can do. Imagine like with a late night on base, like I bring advertisers or other streamers together so they can start getting bids from businesses who want to like capture like different streamers and their audience, and I'm the platform that allows that shit to happen, and it has to be payable and late night on base. There's so much fucking cool things. A lot of the smartest developers and teams in base were telling me that's kind of like a route I should additionally take. So anyways, fucking 100x baby, late night on base, let's go.
I love it, man. I love it. This is the type of market where if we start to see these coins take off, 10 million might be fun. We might see this get to like 20 or 30 million. You see what I'm saying?
Bro, I know. And like I said, in some of these coins, you don't know who the dev is, whatever. Here, it's like, no, it's my ass who obviously I diamond hand this shit because it doesn't make sense to sell. So yeah, dude, this is exciting, man. Like the next 4 or 5 months, woo, let's fucking go. All right, so you got hold. What else we got?
Cool. All right, next one. Just gotta revisit. Not gonna jump too hard on this. Well, I'm not gonna really hinder this because the TA didn't change from last time when we spoke, but I'm still a fan of Yi. I just want to make this clear. Fuck the green frog. We're flipping Pepe. I'm convicted. I love this meme coin. Shout out to the Yi army. You guys are my ride or die. You guys are my family. And long story short, the one thing I want to report on this chart, we did break down from a trend line coming back from April 13th, but I noticed that we're starting to do a bounce. So the real question is that trend line that I just had up invalidated, and are we just going to go through a massive accumulation zone all the way on out? So when it comes to what we're seeing with Yi, actually, let me back this up. I am so sorry, Bill. I misspoke. So I had the trend line wrong. Long story short, we are actually respecting this trend line. We got a deviation, came back down, another deviation, and now we're about to reclaim this trend line. So one thing that I noticed with these deviations is we get a pop. So this is showing signs of a potential accumulation phase and a potential pop going into the future. So like I said, I like Yi sitting at $2.5 million market cap, still backing up the truck. Bill, any thoughts on Yi?
I don't like it as much as you, just because of the way you initially put the trend line is kind of like what I would see because of the top. So I prefer the first way you did it. The second line is yeah, that to me is the trend line because those were the initial. Yeah, so now we're in a channel. So for me, the top line is the most important. Everything else is just a range. That's the bottom of the range. It has to reclaim that top line. Like that was a huge signal. And this is actually a pretty easy one to chart. It's simple. And enter. If it goes above the trend line and holds candles above, enter. Otherwise, literally, if you're on the sideline, just stay on the sideline. There's no reason at all to play this and kind of see. But it does look promising. But yeah, if it goes above that trend line, then it's hella bullish for sure.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yes, sir. Agree 100%. All right, I'm gonna run through two other ones that I have selected. Next one, BSX. Not really much to chart here, but the one thing I will say about BSX is this one's backed by Arthur Hayes. Apparently, they're going to be a hyper liquid competitor. The only thing I have a concern about BSX is the launch of was it Avantus AVNT?
Yeah, Avantis.
Yeah. So what's interesting about this play is you got a Titan in crypto backing this one, BSX, and then you got some guys on Coinbase that are backing AV&T Avantus. So the real question is who's going to be the main perp dex on top of Coinbase? And right now I'm putting my bet on BSX. So this is what I'm looking at. It's sitting at about $4.2 million market cap. Bill, any thoughts on BSX?
Yeah, I mean, the chart looks good. Definitely, there's room for that perp. But yeah, Avantis is like another golden child. That thing ran to like 200, 300 million. It's also integrated with Banker, so there's a lot of mind share on that. So it's going to be tough, honestly, for this to overtake Avantis. And like I said, right now, that's like everyone on CT is talking about it because, again, their campaign with Banker was a very smart play.
Gotcha. Wait, so Banker, do they launch AI agents? Remind me, what's the Banker protocol?
And that's actually one of the tokens that's going to be on my list of today of like absolute no-brainer holds, in my opinion. So Banker is an agnostic agent that's like an AI bot that does everything. You can stake it. You can stake. Basically, you can do everything. You can start. The biggest thing is every person on Twitter has their own wallet through their system. So I can go and be like, hey, BankerBot, send Chris, $100 of USDC, and I'll do it. It transfers from my Banker wallet to your Banker wallet that's in their dashboard. But it's all in one everything. So it's an AI agent. You can ask them whatever you want. You can stake yield, and they're giving out 9% through whatever various methods. You can transfer NFTs. You can have them buy literally any coin. You can do media campaigns saying, hey, BankerBot, look to see who replied, commented, and followed the instructions and airdrop them. Choose 100 winners and airdrop them some tokens. It does it all. And there's like ideas that they're going to be integrating into all other sorts of things. So it's like it's all in one agnostic agent, but without a doubt,
it's a must buy. First of all, the chart looks phenomenal. Second of all, it's integrated in Coinbase Wallet. It's one of the top. It is the AI agent of Coinbase Wallet. So when you're in these groups, you can be like, hey, hey, BankerBot, buy me X amount of whatever in the chat room, or hey, BankerBot, please settle this debt. I owe Chris $20. I owe, Bill 15, solve it. And they do it. But the reason is it's going to be front and center. And again, they offer 9% USDC. Hey, deposit it. They're just constantly innovating as the agnostic agent. So I like it for two reasons. Number one, it fits the AI agent meta because AI is going to have a run. It's agnostic. It does everything. But number two, it's integrating Coinbase Wallet. And the base wallet is going to be open up to beta or to the world. It's right now it's in beta, private invite. It's going to open up to the world in 1 or 2 years. So that is just going to be a massive exposure opportunity that everyone's going to use. And the chart looks phenomenal. And the community is like a cult in a good way. The banker community is cult-like for sure. They love the MFR community loves banker. Other communities love banker. It's like the most useful thing ever. So I think this is the surest play on base. It's 55 million or something. I think they already said that they're going to be listed on Coinbase. They haven't yet, but they're going to be on the actual Coinbase. And if you look at that, that's still very bullish. The actual Coinbase wallet or the Coinbase app. Look at Toshi. They just got listed on Kraken and all these other Korean Bitum. I think Binance's futures. That's the first road of getting on these exchanges. So to me, BankerBot, and after speaking with the smartest people at Basecamp, it's the home run hit for me. It's the least amount of risk for the biggest upside. And at 55 million in a chart like that, bro, billions. I'm shooting for billions on this one.
Yeah, I love it, man. I mean, when we start the next wave, definitely 500 mils on the table, 100%.
Would you agree that's a very nice chart?
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. No, I mean, I'm looking at the fib lines, and we have a magnet right at the 382, came back down, retested,
yeah.
bounced off.
I do not see it dropping below that. If it does, it breaks the structures. I just don't see that at all. And I'll share, and then so I'll hit you up backstage after too with some other stuff that I can't publicly say, but like I think this thing is just bullish as fuck, man.
Yeah, no, this is a phenomenal pick, and typically when we see a bounce and then we start a consolidation zone, right here, it's already showing me like a nice little cup and handle. You can make it a case for a inverse head and shoulders. So, long story short, this is a great play. Sitting at 50 million, I do see it going to 500 million, and like you said, billion. So this could be 100x from here. So good stuff, man. Cool. So the other. I'm trying to remember, what was the other thing I had on my list? All right. Just want to cover all the tokens I have on my list, and I'm going to be adding a couple more. So guys, please tune in these live streams because I'm going to slowly, gradually throw mine out here. So the last one I want to mention is going to be the Morpheus token. As you guys know, Morpheus was founded by Brandon. They have the Switch platform. The fees from the Switch are supposedly going to be used to potentially buy Morph and burn it in the future. There's also a buy and burn. So this is a deflationary token. It's on Ethereum. It's also on Pulse Chain. And just based off the chart and the ecosystem, I really like it. And this is one that I'm going to be holding to the end of the market. So long story short, Morpheus is one of my top picks. And it's currently sitting at, let me look on the east side real quick. I think it's sitting at 300K. No, excuse me. It's sitting at 800K. So right around $1 million. So in my opinion, if it's sitting at $1 million, I do think this could go from anywhere from 50 to $100 million this cycle, just based on the ecosystems it's top on. It is within. And yeah, man, that's why Morph is my fourth play on the list. Buildable. Any thoughts on Morph?
Yeah, I mean, Brandon's a chat. So like I said, I think highly of him. So it'd be good to see how things go. I think it's a long-term cook, so it's not going to like instant moon overnight. But if we're at a stage in the cycle where whatever you buy, you just need to let it play out for the next couple months. So if it's this you like, hold for a while and see what happens. If it's late night on base, hold for a while. I think we just don't jump around projects. This is my opinion. Honestly, just pick and choose what you feel comfortable with and stay.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I also want to talk to you guys about. We got about 5-10 minutes left, so we'll get wrapped up in a second. But when it comes to this market, there is a lot of hay in crypto right now. So we're getting to the point of the cycle where it's a believer's market. There's more coins than people actively in the trenches. So there's going to be very few tokens that people believe in that they're going to jump in. So I would find the plays that you think are going to do really well. If you keep shilling a coin every 2 days, people aren't going to listen to you because you keep jumping around from narrative. That made sense in 2023, early 2024 when the market was blowing up, but doesn't make sense right now. So I just want to make this clear. Get rid of the ADHD, stop having the TikTok brain, find something, believe in it, and you'll win. So that's why I want to say, Bill, any thoughts on that, or do you have any other coins you want to show?
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% spot on. And like I said, we bring opportunities just because we're looking at it. And like I said, up to you guys to decide. But I will say Banker is going to be a complete hold for me the next 5-6 months after talking to the people on base. I'm sizing into that. I do not care if Banker fails, base fails. That's how I feel, and I don't think it's going to. So Banker is, you're going to hear me all about it. Last coin I'll say is baseball. So again, if you guys watch the stream, I got you guys into it around 10 million. It hit about 50 in a few days, and now it retraced to about 22. Now I think it's at 30. I think, again, baseball to me is going to be here to stay. It's going to be the number one collection because you're betting on, indirectly, you're betting on Vibe Market. And again, Vibe Market is just one of the funnest experiences that you can have in crypto at the moment. It's like DeFi summer, but card ripping packs. It's like Top Shot. It's basically Top Shot. I don't know how Top Shot worked, but everyone faded it until they didn't. And this is the number one project. Like I said, one card hit about $55,000 a card. But again, there's so much gameplay in this whole thing, and there's so many people creating their own packs. You just have to go in the community to see, like, people are trying to make a better life for themselves, and it's basically pump fun for card collectors. But there's a token attached to it. So even if you don't like NFTs, you don't like collecting, you can still speculate on each collection with a token, which is tied to the cards. So if one card gets burned, for instance, if you have a legendary card that was worth like 18 grand, you can sell it for ETH, or the smart play is you sell it back into the pool for the tokens, and now you have a liquid asset. Or if you really like the cards, one day there might be a marketplace that plays a premium on that. You just don't know, but it's so fun. So again, baseball is, to me, continues and will continue to be one of the best plays in the next few months of the cycle.
Love it, man. And I like their theory of having like an NFT that's convertible to tokens and back and forth. And I think that's where you're going to get the value behind NFTs, because last market was just crazy speculation over pixelated images of monkeys, and it got really stupid real quick. So I think this will be the best solution to bring that market back. And I also do see a lot of meme coin communities implementing a similar approach. So overall, man, great picks across the board, guys. I think we talked about, what was it, 6 to 8 coins in this live stream. So you guys got picks there. All it comes down to is, do you believe or you don't believe? Because we are getting into the fourth quarter of altcoin season. So yeah, man. So Bill, that's all I got today. Any last thoughts on this live stream?
No, guys, just kind of, enjoy your days. Don't stress about it. If you guys want good, streams, tune into Chris, tune into myself. I have a stream in about half an hour. I'm actually having the baseball team on, along with some couple other chats. So we'll just be chatting. But like, now's the time to lock in. See what happens, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Good stuff, man. And guys, like I said, show my boy some love. He went to base camp. He didn't worship any owl gods. He didn't doing that crazy stuff. He got Air Force Ones, but also he did connect with the base community. He talked to Jesse, talked to some of the best developers. So you are getting firsthand alpha here. The best you can do is go over to his X account, follow him at Late Night on Base. Show support on all of his posts. Check out his live streams. And guys, also, please, if you like meme coins, you're mildly autistic, and you like the Degen trenches, follow me at the verse 369. The next time, we'll see you guys.
Peace.
From the void, a flame awakens slow, cosmic strands in a quiet flow. Numbers hum through ethers, weave the verse ignites what souls believe.